wissen, in welcher Altersstufe das haben.
Goat was released in 2026 and was directed by Tyree Dillahay. It tells the story of Will, who gets the once-in-a-lifetime shot to join the pros for playing a very well-known sport known as rollerball, which a lot of animals believe that only the strongest animals in the world can play, and it's up to Will to prove that the small can indeed ball. The 2026 reviews have officially begun. It may be a bit of a late start, but the beginner movie is Go. Go looked rather weird to me, to be honest. The trailers made the movie just look okay to me. It didn't look bad by any means. It looked good enough. The animation looked nice. The locations looked great. The music in the trailers was really good. But there was just something rather bizarre about the trailers. The marketing just, I don't know. There was something about the marketing that I just didn't really like. The film just looked rather bizarre to me. There were a few mixed reviews coming in. A few people thought the movie was just okay, and a few people thought the movie was really solid. After seeing it today at my third favourite cinema in the country, ODEON Point Square, beautiful place, it's one of my favourite parts in the country, I'm happy to say that I'm glad I saw Go. I'm happy I gave it a chance. I'm glad I went in optimistic, and I gotta say, the film is pretty good. It's a pretty decent, enjoyable, well-made movie. But I do have some major flaws with it, and that comes from one thing: the story. The storyline, I think, is easily the movie's weakest aspect. For me, the storyline is honestly kind of half-assed. The storyline's not bad by any means. My biggest problem with it is the execution. There is a lot, and I mean a lot of cliches in this story, and the storyline just feels very plain, very basic. It feels very, very predictable. I don't think the direction helped very much. I think the direction just felt very by the numbers. It just felt very basic, very paper level kind of. It just felt very ordinary. I feel Will's character arc could have used a lot more work. It's just very predictable with how it's handled. The way he wants to be part of the Roarball, the way he wants to be, you know, part of the Thorns, it's just executed very cliche, and it goes in a very cliche direction, and it kind of, I feel throughout the movie as it goes on, it kind of gets more and more obvious with how it's going to go, and there's nothing about the execution, unfortunately, that makes it stand out, that makes it unique. There's also a cliche used in the film with a certain character. I'm not going to say who it is, but the way the cliche is handled, it's just, did we really need to do that in this film? Like, could we not have done something different? Could we not have done something unique? I will say, however, the concept of Rollerball is very cool. The idea of the Thorns team is pretty cool. I like the Thorns team and I like the concept. There is some very interesting concepts in this movie. There is some good world building in this movie. The locations are really cool. But just the overall story is just very predictable, very by the numbers, and just very plain. Unfortunately, the storyline just, it's a little bit half-assed. It's easily the film's worst aspect, and it could have been a lot better. The storyline and the execution could have used a lot more work. But despite being extremely cliche, the film thankfully does have its heart in the right place. The humour is kind of a mixed bag. There is some funny jokes, and there's a lot of jokes that I wouldn't say necessarily fall flat. They're not necessarily bad jokes, but they don't really land. There's some jokes that just feel kind of random. Like, some jokes kind of feel, it's tricky to say. Some jokes just feel like, am I supposed to find that funny, or am I supposed to just I don't know, just stare, you know, that kind of way. So some of the jokes just felt kind of random. The film's sense of humor was a bit of a mixed bag. But there is heart in the film. The chemistry of the characters is definitely the film's strongest aspect. It is the heart of the movie. The chemistry of the Thorns members is really, really good. It is very well executed. So thankfully the film is saved by a lot of merit. It's just storyline. It's just really cliche and could use a lot more work. The animation, though, is fantastic. It's very cool, it's very creative, it's very fancy, it's very unique, it's very stylish. The colours and the colour correction is really, really nice, and the lighting is really good too. On a visual level, the climax is stunning. The action sequences of the Rollerball are really creative and a lot, and I mean a lot of fun to watch. The character movements are pretty good, the character designs are really good, they're very creative, and they all stand out from one another, which is nice. And the scenery, the landscapes, and the locations are really nice to look at too. The film is very stunning visually to look at. And the film does have a very likeable cast of characters. Will is a good protagonist. His character arc could definitely use a lot more work and a little bit more originality, but he does have a likeable personality and his chemistry with the other characters is definitely the heart of the film. Jet was a character I feel started off very cliche. I just feel the direction taken with her in the first half felt very obvious and very predictable with how her character was going to go. But thankfully in the second half she does improve, and the same does go to her relationship with Will. It starts off very cliche, but as the film goes on, it definitely gets better. The other members of Thorn, such as Modo, Olivia, Lenny and Archie, were pretty good. I feel though they're not as developed as they could be, but they do have good personalities and they do have great chemistry with one another and they bounce off each other very nicely. And I have to say, Archie and his two daughters are very funny to watch. Then there's Maine, the main villain, and in all honesty, this guy is just cringy. He's not in the movie that much, he has very little impact on the story, and his personality is just really annoying. He's not interesting in the slightest, and his dynamic with Will could have used a lot more work. The other side characters that support Will are pretty good and they do contribute to the plot very well. They're not as developed as I would have liked, but they're still pretty good. So while there is a few characters that could definitely be better, for the most part the film's characters are pretty solid. The music of the movie is pretty good. There is some tracks that I do find forgettable, and the villain song I just find so cringy. That villain song, I'm so sorry, is just terrible. But for the most part the music is really catchy and it really adds to the film's atmosphere and it really fits the film very well. Plus the end credit song is pretty catchy too. It definitely has an extremely cliche storyline, but the animation, the music, and the characters definitely make up for that. Overall, Goat is a good film. The storyline may be the weakest aspect, but it has stunning animation, likeable characters, and pretty solid music. I may have flaws with it, but nonetheless, it's a good film and a pretty good start to 2026. I'm going to give Goat a very strong 7 out of 10. So I have to say, 2026 is not off to a bad start. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the year brings. So that's it for my review of Goat. Let me know what you guys think of the movie in the comment section below. Stay tuned for my next review, which is going to be on the movie Mercy, which is said to be a very interesting movie, so that's going to be fun to watch. And until then, thank you all so much for watching. Take care everyone, stay tuned for the next review, and until then, skidoosh everyone.